Welcome back. The bail application for Luthando Siyoni, the middleman in the Jayde Panayiotou murder case, has been postponed until tomorrow at the Port Elizabeth Magistrates Court. Siyoni was nabbed by police earlier this month after being on the run for more than 5 months. He was a state witness in the murder trial but was declared hostile and his status was revoked. Christopher Panayiotou paid him 75,000 rand to source contract killers to abduct and murder his wife. Let's get a bit more now on the story. We crossed our reporter Jayed Leigh-Paulse. She joins us live from Port Elizabeth. Jayde, good afternoon to you. So just take us back why we're seeing this latest court action, because as I read there, Siyoni was a state witness, but that position was revoked. So just help us to understand this latest detainment.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Natasha. Well, just for the benefit of the viewers, we have been following the case. And for those who don't know Luthando Siyoni's role in the murder trial of Christopher Panayiotou, Siyoni was a bouncer for Panayiotou at one of his nightclubs here in Port Elizabeth. And Christopher Panayiotou had instructed Siyoni to actually look for hitmen to kill his wife and abduct her outside the Stellan Glen complex in Port Elizabeth. Those three men were Sizwezake Vumasonkwe, who later died in custody 2 years ago, as well as Jayde Leigh-Paulse and Zolani Sibeko. Now, why the cases, or why the bail application for Luthando Siyoni comes at this time, is that he was a 204 section witness. He did take to the stand during that 2-year-long trial with Christopher Panayiotou, alongside those two accused, Jayde Leigh-Paulse and Zolani Sibeko. But he was never actually accused for those murders because he was a state witness and because he was assisting the police in that murder trial. But until Judge Dalen Chetty declared him a hostile witness during the trial, that's when everything changed for Luthando Siyoni, and that's when it changed his role with in the murder trial. Taking you back to that video where Christopher Panayiotou implicates himself, Luthando Siyoni actually helped police capture him during that, and that is why he wasn't also brought to the court and why he never stood trial with Christopher Panayiotou. After the trial commenced, Natasha, Siyoni did go on the run for 5 months, and the police were looking for him, but they finally arrested him outside his house in KwaZulu on the 1st of May, and that's why we're seeing this bail application being brought forward. But now my colleague Veronica Fourie, she was sitting in the first half of that bail application process. Luthando Siyoni wasn't in court today, and that court proceedings was actually moved to a second court, Court 22, and so there was a lot of disruptions this morning, and that's why we're seeing it being postponed to tomorrow. But it's quite interesting to see the defense advocate of Luthando Siyoni, Zolile has come out asking Magistrate Tandia Mashia that Siyoni has a request, and that request is to recuse Marius Stander from the case, or rather for Marius Stander to recuse himself from this bail application. That's very interesting that he would ask that. But when Marius Stander took to the stand, he told the defense that, he could not do that, and the magistrate also confirmed that she could not do that, but they would have to actually address the NPA or write to Sean Abrams as to why they want Marius Stander to recuse himself. So it's quite interesting to see this coming to the fore, but I suppose we'll see with regards to that application whether the defense will bring an application for the Stander to recuse himself in tomorrow's bail application, as you said. Natasha.
All right, so just to be clear, for his role in the abduction and murder of Jayde Panayiotou, Siyoni faces a charge of murder. Is that correct?
That is correct, Natasha. It's being said that he faces the charge of murder. We're not sure if conspiracy to commit murder will also be added, but like I said, we'll have to wait and see when that bail application takes place tomorrow.
All right, Jayde, thanks very much for that update. We'll leave it there for now. Jayed Leigh-Paulse live for us from Port Elizabeth.